up? What's up? Good morning.
Hey.
High five over here. Boom. All right, good morning, Heartland. Welcome to week 2, episode 2 of the Heartland Show. If you are new here, I feel like I noticed a lot of people who you came and dressed maybe a little bit above what you normally would for your mom. Well done. Well done for you. Glad you're here. And if you're like, this is a church, I'm in the wrong place. It's cool. You're in the right place. We're going to worship. We're going to talk about scripture for our last 5 minutes. No, I'm kidding. We're going to spend more time doing that. But this is the Heartland Show. This is our daytime talk show. We're being broadcast to just millions of people around the world, or, you know, a couple hundred in the Wisconsin area. We're not sure which one, but we chose the first one. But happy Mother's Day to all you mothers and motherly people. I feel like every woman I've ever met, by the time you hit the age of 8, you're being a mom to somebody. So to just every one of you, happy Mother's Day. Now, Sharon, you have kids, right?
I do.
Okay.
I have 2.
Okay, all right.
I have a son who's 39.
Yep.
He's 39.
Yep.
Yep. And we're still holding out hope that he'll do something significant with his life.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's touch and go here,
Sounds
but you know.
good. And you have a daughter
and I have
as well.
A daughter named
yeah,
Reese.
okay.
Yeah,
But I mean, that son of yours sounds pretty fantastic.
Well, he has his days.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you.
Thank
yeah,
you.
So it's my mom there. Yeah. All right. Yeah, where's that for you? That's
Yes,
for
I
raising.
raised him.
That was for
Let
raising
hear
me.
it. I raised him.
That was because you had to raise me. That's what that applause was for. Yeah. Well, I thought to start our time, normally, as I said, we have a theme for every week. Last week was party. This week is Mother's Day. So I thought it'd be fun to take a look at some photos of our Heartland staff with their moms when they were younger. So we have pictures of our Heartland staff. First off, here's John and Ashley. I know. I was like, John, are you sure you want a picture in your tidy whities? And he was like, those are shorts. And I was like, whatever you say, man, whatever you say. Also, Ashley's mom looks exactly the same. She looks exactly like that today. Next, we got Benny and Michelle. Benny looks like super tall. He goes, no, my mom's just short. So I was like, that's a good picture to choose. And Michelle, she was embarrassed. She was like, you can make fun of the chair, but my wife, who's going antiquing later today for Mother's Day, is like, I want that chair immediately. I would like to buy that chair. Here we got Brent and Hannah, looking good. Look at little Brent. Hannah wears that outfit all the time.
Oh, yeah.
That's a crazy hat.
Feathers everywhere.
Yeah, look at that crazy hat. We got Sara and Aaron. Notice that there's some similar haircuts going on in the picture across the way. Sarah's going to be teaching us later. We have Charlie and Sam. Charlie's mom looks like a lot of fun. I've not met her. I would really like to hang out with her. And then we got, who's next? We got Jake and, oh, Mom, there's you and me.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
you and me.
We are cute, aren't
I didn't
we?
even know they had photo booths back then.
Yeah, you go in a box, you close the curtain, and it takes pictures.
Was it like a hand crank to get the photo to?
Yes.
Bring them in there. And then
Yes,
yeah,
it was
that's
a
very
lot of
good.
work.
Look how happy Jake is. I don't know where he's going, but he is pumped. I'm pretty sure I had that outfit too. It's a great outfit. Anyway, we got some great Mother's Day stuff for the Heartland Show coming up today. But of course, we have to thank our sponsor for this week, who actually was our sponsor last week, decided to sponsor us again, which we're very grateful. So take a look at our sponsor for this week, Connect Card.
Here we go.
Do you ever feel disconnected? Do you ever feel like you want to get involved but just aren't sure how? Do you ever feel like you want to know more about a local church that seems pretty cool but you have more things you'd like to know? Introducing Connect Card. Connect Card is a one-time card that you can fill out at your local Heartland Connection Point table to learn more about the church, hear from someone on the team, get your questions answered, and find out how you can get involved. It's recommended by 13 out of 14 staff members, and we forgot to ask the 14th. Side effects may include connection, friendships, a sense of belonging, opportunities to volunteer, loss of hearing, superhuman hearing, X-ray vision, Q-ray vision, crying during insurance commercials, dancing like no one's watching when people are watching, sweating while peeling an orange, breaking plastic forks in your Chipotle burrito bowl, connection, and nausea. Don't take Connect Card if you are allergic to Connect Card. Talk to your pastor to see if Connect Card is right for you, or just head to the Connection Point table in the lobby after the service. Stop feeling disconnected and connect with Connect Card.
All right, thank you to Connect Card. I noticed there seem to be a few more side effects.
They must have increased the potency of that card.
Okay,
Yeah.
they must have done some more testing between last week and this week.
Yeah.
Crying during insurance commercials, that's a tough one.
Yeah, yeah. But I was moved by it.
Yeah. The Allstate, well, yeah, for sure. All right, well, we have some very special guests that are about to come out that we get to talk to for Mother's Day. But first, we got to talk about Heartland Kids,
Yep.
which you may have noticed when you pulled up, takes up literally half our building is devoted to our kids and Next Gen ministry. In fact, those of you who have been around a while, you know, before we remodeled this entire building, what was our former entirety of Heartland is now totally devoted to kids and Next Gen. We have a lot of kids. You know, COVID was real productive in every sense of the word. So a lot of kids down there.
We have easily over 100 every weekend.
Yeah. It's a lot of kids. Yeah. So
They're
everybody
everywhere.
let's just calm down. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. We love them. Heartland Kids, a lot goes into that every single week. It is not just a babysit, hang out, make sure they don't die. I mean, that does happen, but mostly, there's ministry and there's teaching and there's worship and there's intentional crafts that have to do with the content curriculum that's biblically based. It's really, really fun. And so this summer is going to be the first ever Heartland Kids Summer Camp. And so we're so excited about that. And so before our special guests come out and we talk to them, well, let's take a look at the promo for this year's Heartland Kids Summer Camp.
Whoa, look at this thing fly!
How is it doing that?
That is the magic of space travel. Oh, hello, space observers and families thereof. I'm Commander Crackles, and I'm the Commander Crackles, the local space camp coming to a place near you this summer. Specifically, Heartland Church. That's right, a space camp for cadets ages 5 through 5th grade. Isn't that right, Cadet Rookie Cookie?
Yes, it is a 5-day space camp that is going to happen August 14th through the 18th.
And I am your commanding officer. I'll be teaching you, equipping you, and training you.
Yes, there is going to be sports and games and crafts and worship.
And training.
Yes, that's right. Every day we will be learning what it's like to be an astronaut for Jesus.
Registration opens on April 1st at 9 a.m. or as we like to say in space, 0900.
You can find everything that you need to know on our website.
So register on April 1st and get ready for a space camp that is out of this world.
All right, there it is. Hey, would you all please help me welcome my special guests, Tiger, Ruth, Rosie, and Betty. I almost forgot your name. Please help me welcome them. What's up, guys? All right. Actually, first of all, I was told we have some folks still waiting for seats. So if you have any seats in between you, go ahead and scoot in. I know as an introvert, I hate that, and so I'm so sorry. But we just want to make sure people have enough seats. All right. So guys, are you ready to answer questions about your mom?
Yes.
Because it's Mother's Day.
Yes.
Yes. You ready? Okay. Cool. All right. So Tiger, we'll start with you. What does your mom do all day?
She either plants or works.
She plans or plants? Like plants, like flowers and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, plants or works. Okay. Ruth, wait, let me ask Ruthie. Ruthie, what does your mommy do all day?
My mom plants or works.
Okay. Just real consistent. That's good. Were you guys coached this morning or no, I'm just kidding. What does your mom do all day?
My mommy plays with me all day.
She plays with you all day.
Well, not all day.
No, not all day. But how long? How long each day does she play with you?
I don't know. Maybe 100 or 2 minutes.
It's either 100 or 2 minutes. Okay. That's good. What do you think that's? Does your mom play with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good. Does she do anything else?
No.
No, that's it. Okay. She just plays with you. That's good. That's a good mom right there. All right, Tiger, we'll go back to you, buddy. What do you think is the hardest part about being a mom?
Nothing.
It's pretty easy. Smooth sailing. All right, that's great. Ruth, what do you think is hard about being a mom?
Nothing.
Nothing. You guys are just in sync. I love it.
The hardest thing of being a mom is you have to yell at your kids a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, kids need to be yelled at sometimes, right? That's what you think, honey. What's the hardest part about being a mom?
When your mommy yells, you get a timeout.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, that's good. It sounds like your parents are nailing the discipline thing. That's good. That's good. That's really good. Okay, here we go. This is the last question. This is a fun one, though. You ready? Tiger, what is your favorite thing about your mom?
She knows how to play King Corners.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what game that is.
King's Corners?
You're answering what's your favorite part about your mom. Ruthie, you can't say the same thing. You have to say something different. What's your favorite thing about your mom?
She plays puzzles with me.
She plays puzzles with you? That's awesome. Do you think she would play puzzles with me? No. No? Oh, Betsy doesn't think so. Okay. All right, Rosie, wait, what's the best thing about your mom? Favorite thing about your mom? There's just too many options. There's like way too many things. You're overwhelmed with how good she is.
Plays games. She helps me when I'm stuck up somewhere.
Wait, like in a tree?
Yeah.
Like when you're stuck in a tree?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And she plays with me.
And she plays with you. Okay. Rosie, what's your favorite thing about your mom?
Her name is Betty.
Oh, Betty. You're sorry. Sorry, Betty. I'm sorry, honey. What's your favorite thing about your mom?
I love getting toys with my mom at the store.
Oh, that's a good one.
She never's. Well, kind of.
She kind of gets toys for you at the store?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to ask you one more question.
Sometimes she doesn't get treats, and she lets us get treats.
Oh, you get treats? Man, I got to hang out with your guys' moms. That sounds amazing. What are you guys going to do for your mom for Mother's Day today?
I don't know.
What, Ruthie?
I have a present.
You have a present for her?
I do too.
Do you want to tell her what it is, or is it a surprise? It's a surprise. Okay. What are you going to do for your mom for Mother's Day today?
Well, we did it last night. We set up flowers on the table
Oh.
and put chocolate on it too, and a card.
You put chocolate on the flowers?
No.
Oh.
It came in a box.
Came in a box. Okay. Man, I got that wrong. All right, night, Betty. You have a good nap, okay, sweetie? Take a nap. All right, would you guys please help me thank our special guest? Good job, you guys. Good job. Tiger, you can't take a nap. Oh, man, that was awesome. Great. Whew. I wanted to ask some more intense questions, but, it's a church. All right, so now it's time for what has quickly become our favorite segment here at the Heartland Show.
Oh, so good.
Which is Sharon Tries, where, Sharon, we make you try things.
Yeah.
So last week, you tried ballroom dancing.
I did.
Learned 4 different dances.
I'm really good. I'm thinking of starting my own dance studio.
Oh,
I'm
great.
really that good.
Okay, all right.
One lesson.
Yeah. Oh, that's all it takes. Well, this week we had you try something that combined 2 things that really probably shouldn't go together, which is yoga and goats.
Yeah.
I don't know who...
It was the smelly experience I've ever had.
Well, but what about the goats? I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so you went out to do goat yoga with some of our staff, with some of our Heartland volunteers, and so let's take a look at this week's installment of Sharon Tries.
I am, for my very first time, goat yoga. This is Jessie.
Hi, I've been instructing goat yoga for 2 years now.
2 years.
Fitness farm.
Well, this is goat soap, so whoever gets their first poop on them from a goat wins the soap. I'm hoping it's not me. I want to tell you who's with me. Look at all these women behind me. Do you see them all? We've got the staff women. Sara is going to be teaching in just a few moments. She brought some of her very favorite women. May I say that? Well, there's other favorites. This is the only one she could get here today. Anybody ever done it before? Oh, well, we're going to have a lot of fun. Happy Mother's Day, and come join us. Watch while we do this crazy thing called goat yoga. Okay, I don't have anything in my hand.
So that we have the earth forward. forward, reaching down. And this time towards our sky, reaching arms to the sky and come out of our lunge. Exhale, right arm lengthens out in front. Look down into the round. Let's just try to find that moment. Our heart.
Goat smell?
Goat smell.
Okay, well, I'm spoiled because if I ever do yoga again, it will be with goats. Oh my gosh. Except the thing is, it's so smelly. They're constantly pooping and peeing, but it was so fun. So I've got to clean this mat because it's not mine. So before I give it back, and I've got to go shower. Who knew we would leave this so smelly? We had a riot. I don't think I've laughed that hard in so long. So, you know, Heartland Show, what do you got next for me? I'm ready because this was a blast.
All right, go yoga.
Yeah, and I'm proud to hold the goat soap because...
Oh, you won this?
Yeah, none of us got pooped on, but the moment I set my mat down, they were attracted to it, and it was covered with poop and pee.
Oh, okay.
And they'd just be right in front of me. There was no modesty at all. It was constant. It was just constant.
The goat community is real inconsiderate when it comes to poop. Also, you said the phrase which I've never heard before. You said, there was so much poop and pee, it was so fun. Phrase has never, ever been said before. I noticed your soap has not been opened, which is concerning a little bit.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
gosh.
Right.
It was
great.
so
Well,
smelly.
we're not gonna reveal what you do next week.
Yeah.
But I will say it is involved with you hanging out with some high school athletes.
I might come back in a body cast. No one knows.
That means it was a good time. All right. Well, before we move on with the Heartland Show, just a couple reminders I want to make you aware of. Coming up on June 11th, we have Bratfest, which means, May 28th. I don't know what month it is. May 28th, so sorry. So in 2 weeks, not next week, but the week after, Heartland will be at Bratfest, which means we won't be here. That's right. We here in Wisconsin, we shut down church in the name of brats, all right? So if you're welcome to come here, no one will be here. Doors will be locked, and there will be no brats. So if you're like, I'd rather come to a place that's open with brats, have we got the thing for you? We're down at Bratfest. So that morning at 9 a.m., we are taking over. They have like kind of a Christian section and like stage and stuff, and we are bringing our whole church down there. We did it last year. It was so much fun. Some of you here in the room or watching online, that might have been your first Heartland experience, and then you've been coming ever since, so special welcome to you. But that will be happening on the 28th, so mark your calendars. There's no Saturday service if you tend to maybe sometimes come Saturday, and no Sunday services here. We'll be down at Bratfest. It was so much fun last year, and so we're doing that again. Speaking of Saturday services, next week will be our final Saturday service, and then we're going to take off Saturday for the summer, potentially come back in the fall. So again, if you ping pong from Saturday to Sunday, next week will be our final Saturday service. And then finally, we mentioned this last week, Night to Remember is coming up. That's June 11th. See, I was kind of right, just a little early. Yeah, Night to Remember is coming up. We talked a bunch about it last week, which was great, but we still need a whole bunch of volunteers for that night. It takes an army to serve and bless the guests that are going to come be a part of that. So if last week we were like, we need volunteers, and you're like, somebody else will sign up. They didn't, so we need you to sign up, please, to volunteer for Night to Remember, which you can do at the Night to Remember table or at Connection Point or at ntrheartland.com. Sign up to volunteer there and come hang out. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful night. Well, we are in for a special treat today. For Mother's Day at the Heartland Show, Sara Reese is going to be teaching us this morning. She is our women's pastor and wonderful person, incredible communicator. She has influenced so many women here at Heartland, and every single time she's spoken at a women's event, my wife and just women are raving about it. And like, can I come hear her next time? And they're like, no. So I'm very excited that I and all of us get to hear Sara this morning teach us all about Mother's Day here at the Heartland Show. And thank you so much for being here on episode 2, part 2 of the Heartland Show. And when Sara comes out, please give her a warm welcome. Here we go. I teed you up.
Good morning. Dugan set that bar real high, so I just want you to move that down just a little bit there. I just want to say my name is Sara Reese, and I have the privilege of being the women's pastor here at Heartland. And if you walked in and you're confused and you're wondering if this is a church, it is. This is not normal for us, but we are not normal people around here, but we do love Jesus, and that's why we're all here. So we're glad that you are joining us this morning. So since they gave me a mic this morning, I wanted to take an opportunity to make you guys a little uncomfortable and make you raise your hand in church this morning. I'm just going to ask 2 questions, but I do promise that they are not difficult questions. So the first question is, how many of you have ever been in a relationship with another human being? Go ahead and raise your hand. Oh, good. Okay, all of you. Okay, great. My second question is, how many of you have ever been in a relationship that was complicated? Go ahead and raise your hand. All right. Feels like that's unanimous. Awesome. So anyone who watches TV these days knows that complicated relationships are really the key to any good daytime television show. For anyone with experience with daytime TV, we know that there is no shortage of relationships or complications. From the insightful interviews of Oprah Winfrey to the crazy mayhem of Jerry Springer, to the courtroom antics of Judge Judy, or the serious direction of psychologist Dr. Phil, we see relational breakdowns, and they make us feel maybe just a little better about our own lives and relationships. We kind of love complicated as long as they are not our complications. And we love people to feel relatable, but maybe just a smidge more crazy than we feel on any given day. Relationships are universal. We've all experienced the spectrum of good ones and bad ones, and if we're honest, we like to watch a little bit of drama to make ourselves feel a little more normal or a little more sane than the people we watch on TV. There are times that my relationship with my dog feels complicated because I want to snuggle with him. He has no time for me because he cannot skip his 35th nap of the day, apparently, or things are going to go sideways for him. Relationships are complicated. But today is Mother's Day. It's a day to celebrate and honor your mother for bringing you into this world and for not taking you out like she's threatened to do. It's a time to celebrate her for being your rock for the 10 billion dinners that she's made you, or maybe the 7 million times she's driven you to a friend's house or done carpool or any number of places she may have driven you. It's time to celebrate her for the times that maybe she surprised you by waiting up for you as you walk through that door at midnight when you were supposed to be home at 10. But in that, we also recognize that Mother's Day is complicated for those who maybe have lost a child or multiple children, for those whose prayers maybe have not been answered yet for a child, or for those with a complicated relationship with a child or a parent, or perhaps those who have lost a mother. We recognize there are a lot of complications within those relationships, and we would like to pray for all of our moms this morning. Would you join me in prayer? God, we are so grateful for the way that you created moms. We are so grateful for the love and care and nurturing that they give us. God, we're so grateful that you know the deepest longings of every mother's heart. You know our prayers. You know what we need. You know what our prayers are for our children. You know our strengths and you know our weaknesses. And God, we're so grateful for the gift of mothers, for the people who nurture us and love us and comfort us. But God, we also recognize today that Mother's Day isn't always a celebration for everyone, that it feels maybe hard or painful or complicated. God, we ask that you would be their refuge and their light today. God, that you would be in those places with them that nobody else can reach. We're so grateful that you see us, that you love us, that you know us, and that you are with us. In Jesus' name, amen. In relationships, there's drama, there is relational breakdown, and there is misunderstandings. And this is where we are going to find ourselves in the story we're going to dive into today with our beautiful friend, Hannah. We find the story of Hannah in 1 Samuel chapter 1, which takes place during the time of Judges. The theme of the time of Judges was that every man did what was right in his own eyes. And during this time, faith was cyclical. People would fall away from the Lord, go after the gods of this world, and as you can imagine, trouble would follow. In their distress, they would cry out to God for a deliverer, God would send a deliverer, and when that deliverer would die, they would fall away again, pursue worldly gods, and trouble would follow. This cycle is where we come in Samuel. But what we see is that not everyone has fallen away from God. There are people that are still faithful to God. In the scripture we're going to read today in 1 Samuel, we are going to meet 4 people. They are Elkanah, the husband, his 2 wives, Hannah and Peninnah, and Eli, the temple priest. Now, this already feels like the possible topic of a daytime television show because, yes, you heard me correctly, Elkanah has 2 wives at the same time on purpose. So my husband of almost 20 years has told me he doesn't know how any man could possibly have 2 wives because one is more than he can handle. And that, I say, you're welcome. But before we move on, I want to point out a couple things. First, we need to remember that when we read accounts of the Old Testament, we generally find that the accounts are not about how to live like the people, because we realize the men and women of the Old Testament were normal, fallen people just trying to figure it out. There's jealousy, there's deceit, there's family drama. People don't trust God, they take matters into their own hands, and they do selfish things. The Old Testament stories are not necessarily about the people, but about God, and how, in the midst of imperfect people, he still intervenes and pursues and wants to make himself known. In this particular time and culture, it was not uncommon for a man to have 2 wives. And as you will see, Elkanah loves his first wife, Hannah, but she has been unable to have children, so he takes a second wife in hopes to continue his family line. In these times, families needed help. They needed hands to help them on the farm with their land or with family businesses, and children were often the solution to that. If a woman were unable to have a child after 10 years of marriage, a man was allowed by human law to marry another wife. It was important to them to keep the land or whatever inheritance they had within their families and to carry on their family name. So that is the context in which we are stepping into today. Our main focus is going to be on how God works in and through Hannah, and how through her we come to see character, faith, and heart really matter. So let's read 1 Samuel chapter 1, verses 1 through 20. There was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim of the hill country of Ephraim, whose name was Elkanah, son of Jeroham, son of Elihu, son of Tohu, son of Zuph, an Ephrathite. He had 2 wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. So I just want to pause here for a second for those of you who may find yourself in a similar situation to Hannah, or who've been there and you know the deep pain and desire to have children. But for whatever reason, that has not happened yet. And you're holding your breath and you're wondering why this has to be a part of your story or Hannah's story. I see you, and I want you to know that there is hope for you today. My prayer is that you will walk out this morning filled with peace and comfort and hope, knowing that your Father, your God, sees you and is walking with you through this season. So verse 3. Now this man used to go up year by year from this city to worship and to sacrifice to the Lord of hosts at Shiloh, where the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were priests of the Lord. On the day when Elkanah sacrificed, he would give portions to Peninnah his wife and to all her sons and daughters, but to Hannah he gave a double portion, because he loved her, though the Lord had closed her womb. So they went to the temple, and they would bring their sacrifice before the Lord. Elkanah would divide out portions of the sacrificed animal among his family. This was very normal for the offering of sacrifice. People would give a portion of their sacrifice to the Lord, and then the other portion would be divided among their family. So we should take notice here that this verse notes Elkanah's love for Hannah and that he gave her a double portion. This essentially means he gave her twice as much as anybody else in his family. And through this gesture, he wanted her to feel taken care of, to feel seen, and to feel loved. He was essentially putting his favor for Hannah on display. Now, you can imagine Peninnah, as the second wife, who has borne many children for her husband, to see your husband favor his first wife, or really anyone but you, that's going to be a tough pill to swallow. So what does Peninnah do? Well, verse 6 says, "And her rival used to provoke her grievously, to irritate her, because the Lord had closed her womb. So it went on year by year. As often as she went up to the house of the Lord, she used to provoke her." So a couple things to note here. We read Peninnah would provoke Hannah and grievously irritate her. She used the one thing that meant the world to Hannah, the one thing that Hannah no doubt thought about day after day. Grievously means to a very severe or serious degree. So I can only imagine that to add that word in there meant that Peninnah was ruthless and relentless in rubbing this in Hannah's face. The only thing Peninnah felt like she had over Hannah was her ability to have children, and she wasn't about to let Hannah forget it. This verse also says this went on year after year. So we know Hannah was no stranger to being cut, burned, and crushed by Peninnah's relentlessness. What I really love is what this verse doesn't say. Notice that Hannah does not bite back. She doesn't provoke Peninnah by rubbing it in her face that she's actually Elkanah's first and favorite wife, nor does she irritate her by reminding her how much more Elkanah loves her by flaunting her double portion in her face. She doesn't get in her face and tell her exactly what she thinks or how she's going to get what's coming to her. Instead, Hannah faithfully pursues God. What we want to see is that someone like Hannah, someone with great faith, would be someone that would not have this problem. That somehow our faith would keep us protected from disappointment or words that cut and people that hurt us. But the reality is that no matter how great our faith or how strong our relationship with God is, we will all have conflict and problems. As long as there are people, there will be conflict and problems, because we all have insecurities, and we would love for life just to work out in our own favor. But our world is broken. But what we see with Hannah is that Peninnah and her relentless provoking doesn't disturb Hannah's faith. In fact, there is no mention or acknowledging of Peninnah in Hannah's prayer. Because she doesn't want conflict, she wants a child. She knows that a hard heart and harsh words are not going to give her the desires of her heart. Only God can do that. She stays focused on what's important, and for Hannah, that is her faith. There are going to be difficult people in our lives. People who don't like us, who don't understand us, who hold grudges against us, say unkind things about us, or believe untrue things about us. We are not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It's impossible, and that's okay. We have to fight against that feeling that tells us that we need to get even or settle the score. Getting even is a principle of this world, of our impulses, our emotions, that is not of heaven. Character and faith, those are principles of heaven. Faith entrusts our difficulties to God. Hannah, instead of retaliating, she prays. She perseveres through prayer. Did it make Peninnah's provoking and irritating words end? No, because it says it happened year after year. But Hannah turned to prayer time after time. Hannah knew the answer wouldn't be found in a quick-witted comeback or a snarky comment. She knew her answer would come from prayer and for asking God for help. Because if we look at Hannah's prayer, she seeks help from God, not revenge on Peninnah. There was no moment of, oh Lord, if only Peninnah might trip up the stairs to the temple or stub her toe on a rock. She laid it all down before God, everything that was burdening her heart. She left it all before God and let him pick it up. She did this year after year. God heard her. He was working and planning and preparing, but it took time. Where will our faith lead us in those moments when we are dealing with difficult people in our lives? Will we crawl down into the pit of angry, unrelenting words to defend our character and heart? Will we worry or will we worship? Will we get even or will we pray? Despite her incredible character, faith, and prayers, Hannah still wept. She still felt emotions. She was hurt and heartbroken. She was no doubt grieving the words that Peninnah spoke over her and grieving the child she had been praying for and still had not received. But she didn't give up on her worship or her prayers. Then, as to top off this moment, her husband tries to be so kind and helpful. In verse 8, we hear Elkanah trying to comfort Hannah in her sorrows when he says, "Hannah, why do you weep? And why do you not eat? And why is your heart sad? Am I not more to you than 10 sons?" Now, I love Elkanah's heart here, but I can't help but think this is a she gave him the look moment. Any partner knows what I'm talking about here. It's that, are you serious right now? Or did those words come out of your actual mouth? You know the one. It's like a spiritual gift you receive when you get to an age and you enter into a relationship, and it just comes to you one day when your person says the most unexpected or unaware or perhaps most inappropriate thing that you might have heard in your entire life. But apparently, the gift to discern this look is not as widespread. You don't receive it until maybe you're a good 15 years into a relationship and you can actually start to feel your person glaring into your soul. My husband, who in his own words would say he is live streaming stupid stuff all day, has gotten to a point where he knows when my look is looking at him. He won't even look up anymore. He'll just try and make me laugh, which he's about at 50-50 odds in any given moment. But Elkanah's heart in this moment is to love Hannah well, in hopes of filling her heart with knowing that she's loved and cared for, even if she doesn't have any children. This feeling is something that we have all felt in any given moment. This is the unexplained restlessness within us for more, or maybe less, or maybe something, or maybe someone. It's really an indescribable longing that we can't put our fingers on until we recognize that the hole that we try to fill with things or people or events is something that cannot be filled on this side of heaven. There is our place in our hearts and our lives that only God can fill. There was a longing, a pain, a hole in her life. It's not about Elkanah and who he is and how much he loves Hannah or how well he provides or cares for her. It is about God. Only God can answer our prayers. Only God can sit with us and comfort us in the deep sorrow of loss and pain. We were created to live with God, to be in the Garden of Eden, walking around, experiencing his full presence every day. And our flesh knows something's missing, and there is a void inside that this world tries to fill with answers to problems. Maybe in 5 easy steps, or products that will solve a problem, or experiences that will fill a void, or relationships that will make us feel whole. But we realize that nothing is that easy because everything still takes work. People will always fall short of our needs and our expectations, and whatever it is never exactly what we needed, so we continue on the search. Until we recognize that our true longing is a restored face-to-face relationship with God, that search will continue. Hannah knew Elkanah wasn't the answer to what she was seeking, that no matter how hard he tried, he was not going to be the answer to her grief and sorrow. He wasn't enough. Instead, she was seeking God, the only one who could understand her fully, the only one through whom she could get an answer to her heart's desire, the only one who could fully comprehend the grief and despair she was feeling. And she kept coming back year after year, praying before the Lord. Verse 9 continues. After they had eaten and drunk in Shiloh, Hannah rose. Now Eli the priest was sitting on a seat beside the doorpost of the temple of the Lord. She was deeply distressed and prayed to the Lord and wept bitterly. And she vowed a vow that said, O Lord of hosts, if you will indeed look on the affliction of your servant and remember me and not forget your servant, but will give to your servant a son, then I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life, and no razor shall touch his head. As she continued praying before the Lord, Eli observed her mouth. Hannah was speaking in her heart. Only her lips moved, and her voice was not heard. Therefore, Eli took her to be a drunken woman. And Eli said to her, How long will you go on being drunk? Put your wine away from you. But Hannah answered, No, my Lord, I am a woman troubled in spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but I have been pouring out my soul before the Lord. Do not regard your servant as a worthless woman, for all along I have been speaking out of my great anxiety and vexation. Then Eli answered, Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant your petition that you have made to him. And she said, Let your servant find favor in your eyes. Then the woman went her way and ate, and her face was no longer sad. They rose early in the morning and worshipped before the Lord. Then they went back to their house at Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her. And in due time Hannah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Samuel. For she said, I have asked for him from the Lord. Now, I'm guessing Eli, to no fault of his own, clearly had no experience with women. To deduce from a woman crying and appearing to talk to herself that she was drunk. I mean, I can have full-on conversations with myself that they're the ones that start internally, and then all of a sudden your mouth and your brain work collaboratively and you start saying something out loud and the person next to you has no idea what you're saying. I've had plenty of those conversations. But this wasn't the case with Hannah. She was in a place of complete surrender, bearing her heart to God in the temple, and Eli assumed she was drunk. Eli knew nothing about Hannah other than he saw with his eyes that her lips were moving and she was crying, which led him to the conclusion that she was drunk. How many times do we look at the people around us and assume that we know them well enough to know what they're thinking or why they're doing what they're doing? We assume quite often very poorly that they don't like us, maybe they're mad at us, or they think they're better than us, or they're judging us. We assume any number of things. Hannah's heart was pure. Her desire was to meet with God in his holy temple and lay her entire heart and every burden that she was carrying to lay them down. But again, we see Hannah's character and faith rise to the occasion. Instead of being annoyed or frustrated with Eli and raising her voice at him or trying to get him to understand, she engages with Eli. She brings him into the fold of the desires of her heart, and she doesn't throw her hands in the air, nor does she leave Eli to assume she was drunk. She shares her prayer. There are going to be times that we will be misunderstood. There will be times that what someone believes about us won't actually be true about us. There will be times that our brokenness or imperfect attempts to walk in faith will be used against us. That times that our work towards healing or setting healthy boundaries will be perceived as selfishness. Our success will be seen as something that came easy for us. Our silence will be seen as judgment, or our joy will be held against us. Every moment in our lives leaves room for misunderstanding. There's just simply times in our lives that we will be misunderstood. But that misunderstanding, rather than making assumptions in return or allowing anger to rise up in us, we have the opportunity to let them push our faith to new levels and lift our worries and concerns, hurt and frustrations in prayers to heaven. For some of you, this might feel really close to home, and you've been waiting, and you have been praying, and you've been leaning into God, and your character and faith have withstood the test of time. But you're tired, and you're weary, and you wonder if there will ever be an answer. And I want to encourage you and remind you that just like Hannah, where you are right now is not the end of your story. Hope is coming. While the band comes out, I want to share a few final words with you. It is estimated that Hannah waited 19 years before God answered her prayer for a child. 19 years. What Hannah didn't know was the same thing that we don't know, and that is God's plan. She didn't know that her eventual son would be named among the greatest leaders of Israel. She didn't know that the son that she waited and prayed for 19 years would be the one to anoint David, king of Israel. She didn't know the lineage and bloodline of King David would lead to the birth of the Messiah, the one who would come to save the world from their sins. She didn't know, but she continued to turn to God. Year after year, she watched somebody else have the sons and daughters that she prayed for. Year after year, she was reminded that her husband loved her, but did not understand the depth of her grief and anguish. Year after year, she sought the Lord in prayer and asked him for a child. 19 years of asking for the same thing is a really long time. And I can imagine that there were times that Hannah wanted to say something equally irritating or grievous back to Peninnah, or to tell Elkanah that she loved him too. He really was great, but she wanted more. But she turned to God. Year after year, she sought God in prayer. Year after year, her faith was greater than her foes. Year after year, Hannah was defined by her character and her faith. These are defining moments of character and faith for all of us. Will we say the quippy and witty, snarky and comebacks, or will we try to even the score? Or are we going to hand those concerns over to heaven? Will we continue to pursue the things and the people in this world that feel like they are going to fill those empty places in our hearts? Or will we pursue the only one who can? Will we allow the misunderstandings of who we are drive what we do? Or will we lift our difficult circumstances and hurting hearts to heaven? Just like Hannah, we have the opportunity to be emptied of our longings, our pain, our difficult circumstances, and to turn to heaven and be filled by knowing that our prayers are heard by God, and that He, if we allow Him the space in our lives, will do more than we can think or imagine. I want to take this second to encourage you that we do live in complicated times with chaotic schedules and endless work and social and extracurricular commitments. There is no end of social media telling us and showing us that we are missing out on things, or that we're falling short to reach a bar we never knew we wanted to reach until we saw somebody else do it. But God, He is the reason that we come here every Sunday to meet Him. He is the one setting the bar for us. He is the reason that we want to live differently. He is the one who sets us apart. He is the one who created us and fully understands us and the people around us and the complexity of this world that we live in. I invite you to acknowledge that empty space in your heart and the things that you are trying to fill it with. Invite God to fill it. Recognize the difficult people and complicated relationships in your own life and hand them over to God. Live fully, being transformed by the power of the Holy Spirit, knowing that you will be misunderstood, but the one who knit you together knows the desires of your heart, because like Hannah, He sees you exactly where you are, and He will meet you there. To all the current, future, and pending mothers, parenting is really hard, but God is with you, and today I want to remind you that you are doing better than you think. As you stand right now, our worship team is going to come forward and collect the offering.
And as we enter into a time of worship, let praise be a weapon that silences the enemy. Let praise be a weapon that conquers all anxiety. Let it rise. Let praise arise. We sing your name in the dark and it changes everything. We sing with all we are and we claim your victory. Let it rise. Let praise arise. Come on, let's sing that out. We'll see you break down every wall. We'll watch the giants fall. Fear cannot survive when we praise you. The God of breakthroughs on our side. Forever lift him high. With all creation cry, God, we praise you. Oh, we praise you. Oh, let faith be the song that overcomes the raging sea. Let faith be the song that calms the storm inside of me. Let it rise. Let faith arise. Let it rise, yeah. We'll see you break down every wall. We'll watch the giants fall. Fear cannot survive when we praise you. The God of breakthroughs on our side. Forever lift him high. With all creation cry, God, we praise you. Oh, we praise you. Oh, let's declare this. This is what living looks like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what heaven sounds like. We praise you, we praise you. This is what living looks like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what heaven sounds like. We praise you, we praise you. This is what living looks like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what heaven sounds like. We praise you, we praise. We'll see you break down every wall. We'll watch the giants fall. Fear cannot survive when we praise you. The God of breakthroughs on our side. Forever lift him high. With all creation cry, God, we praise you. Oh, we praise you. Oh, we praise you. So church, can we sing that chorus one more time together? We'll see you break down. We'll watch the giants. Fear cannot survive. The God of breakthroughs on our side. Forever lift him high. With all creation cry, God. And oh, we praise you. We praise you. Oh, we praise you. We praise you. You don't need a savior if you don't know sin and shame. You don't need forgiveness when you've never walked away. But this is my story. I'm a life made new. I'm the one who's been set free. I have found a friend in Jesus. He is everything to I have a shepherd who always keeps me safe, and I found a healer who knows my every pain. But this is my story of redeeming love. I've come to know him well. Oh, I have found a friend in Jesus. He is everything to me. I have found a friend in Jesus. Yes, he is my everything. I have found a friend in Jesus. He is everything to me. I have found a friend in Jesus. Yes, he is my everything. Oh, you are everything. You're my everything. Oh. He walks with me. He talks with me. He tells me I am his own. The joy we share, what else compares? It's like nothing I've ever known. Oh, he walks with me. He talks with me. He tells me I am his own. The joy we share, what else compares? It's like nothing I've ever known. And I have found a friend in Jesus. He is everything to me. I have found a friend in Jesus. Yes, he is my everything. I have found a friend in Jesus. He is everything to me. I have found a friend in Jesus. Yes, he is my everything. Oh, you're my everything. Oh, never alone. Your friend. He walks with me. He talks with me. Sing that out. He tells me I am his own. The joy we share, none else compares. It's like nothing I've ever known. And he walks with me. He talks with me. He tells me I am his own. The joy we share, what else compares? It's like nothing I've ever known. I have found a friend in Jesus. He is everything to me. I have found a friend in Jesus. Yes, he is my everything. I have found a friend in Jesus. He is everything to me. I have found a friend in Jesus. Yes, he is my everything. Oh, you're my everything, God.
Of our lives. God, would we be people like Hannah, whose character and faith rises no matter the situation, the circumstance, the relationship, or the complication? Would we be people whose faith rises to the top, people who turn to prayer, people who turn to you to be our answer? God, we're so grateful that you have met us here today, and to you be all the glory. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, thank you for joining us here in our second week of the Heartland Show. Next week, we have our third and final week of the Heartland Show. I believe it's a sports edition, so if that intrigues any of you. For all of our moms, we do have some flowers out in our cafe area as well as a photo booth, so head out there, grab a flower, take some pictures, and happy Mother's Day. We're so glad you have all joined us today.